What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's the day we've all been waiting for. Big Red had a package come in. New injectors. We got two. So today we're going to go over what was going on with the truck that made me think my injectors might have been going out. What I did to verify that the injectors were going out. And then we're going to see if we can figure out how to do this. I've never done it. If you're new to the channel, just so you know, I'm not a mechanic. I've never done this before. I've never changed injectors on a 6-liter. But I am fairly handy. Feel pretty confident. And sometimes that translates into success. By no means should you take anything I'm about to say or do as advice. Let's dive in. Oh, hey, one other thing. I saw online, somebody claims that they carry a spare injector with them in their glove box, and that they have in the past changed an injector on the side of the road. So, I have just the typical toolkit that I bring with me when I go on camping trips, and then you know, just a couple of random tools specific to this job. So we're going to see if this could theoretically be done on the side of the road, particularly by someone who's never done it before. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm hopeful that at some point during this process the UPS guy will show up, because oh man, there's something else coming. I would love to smash it into this video instead of making another one later, because you know, I'm going to have to take stuff apart again. So let's just do it all while it's out, hopefully. Let's jump under the hood and just start figuring out how to do this. So already on my truck, there's an issue. I can't reach anything. So I've got this ladder. I can't say that I would carry this with me when I'm on the road, but we'll give the process the benefit of the doubt. Not everybody's truck sits this high. Really have no idea what I'm doing, but I can tell you that it sure looks like we need to get this air cleaner and the degas bottle out of the way. So let's do that. I'm very frustrated as I do this because my degas bottle's empty. We'll just pretend like we didn't see that. Get this air box out of the way. Pull it out in one piece. Don't try to take this thing apart. So I'm guessing the next thing to do is take the Ficm off. So we'll do that. Great! I dropped that nut. Never find that again. Not 100% sure. I'm guessing I have to take these, what are these, 13s? I don't know. So while we're doing this, I'll just tell you, the truck would idle poorly. I'm sure if you've seen other videos, you've noticed. First, when I started up, tons of white smoke. Runs super rough. You could hear it running like crap. It sounded like an old tractor. And it would stutter and shake and buck at highway speeds. So when the injector's failing to fire fuel into the cylinder at those higher speeds, she really gets to shaking. All common symptoms of bad fuel injectors. I have a little scanner I put on this truck, and it said cylinders 2 and 4, contribution code. Oh man, these Ficm connectors are a friggin' nightmare, plus my feet are wet. Ah! All right, she's out. September 4th, 2003. 18 years old. I was a little worried that my cheap little scanner would be wrong. So I actually took the truck to the Ford dealer. I paid $100 for diagnostics. They came back and said, yep, cylinders 2 and 4. It confirms that my little crappy scanner was right. 2 and 4 both on the driver's side. I mean, I don't know. At least it's on the same side. I don't know if this side's easier. Well, I dropped my wrench. Never get that back. I'm just happy that I only have to take off one valve cover. You know, I've been talking to you guys. I've not been paying attention where this hardware is supposed to go. That could be a problem. Oh man, how in the world? Well, I'm not sure how you're supposed to get to that. Ficm bracket is loose. Oh, I dropped 2 nuts. No pun intended. I think we're ready to start pulling the valve cover. That's not a 13. This is. No, it's not. What is this? What is going on? 12. It's a 12. So, I asked the dealer for an estimate, as I have been a little nervous about doing this. Just so much can go wrong. But, you know, watched a few videos. There's a whole bunch of channels out there with people that know what they're doing. The 2 that I like are Diesel Tech Ron and In the Shop. If one thing's clear, it should be that I have no idea what I'm doing. But, you know, the point of this is to try to encourage people not to be scared. I tell you, the worst part about this is going to be remembering where the studs go. Elbow. What is this? 12? Oh God. It's not back here. Goodness gracious. How? How are you supposed to get to that? Well, I can't fit a wrench in there. Maybe one of these guys. Oh yeah, that fits. Goodness. This is ridiculous. Oh, I can't wait to put this one back. Oh, this is just the worst. Oh, it's so close. Got it. So we should be ready. Well, how am I supposed to do this with one hand? Hang on. There we go. My goodness. These front 2 injectors are the ones that are bad. I don't know yet if I'm actually going to completely remove the oil rail, if we're just fold it out of the way, because it's pretty easy to get to these. So let's see what we can come up with. So all the way around the oil rail, 8mm bolts. Pop them out. And it should, should just lift right off. And I gotta think about this. Okay, so I decided that it was gonna be best to go ahead and remove the rail completely. This hose, I make a little tool here. I don't know, this is like $8. This just slides between the rail and this nozzle, and it pops right out. But next step, these are our bad injectors right here, this one and this one. Next step's gonna be to get the electrical connections off, which we should be able to just push it in. I'm gonna need both hands. Just push this little clip in and it pops out. So that little Torx down there, which I think is a T40, pop that out, the injector will come right on out, and then we just reverse the process. I should mention, get a long Torx bit. Now it's loose. Get this one out. Once again, it does not look terrible. And before you start putting anything back together, you check down in those cups. If you've got a nylon brush, maybe clean them out a little bit. I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. We'll go grab the new injectors and we'll start putting it back together. So here's one of the new injectors. Take this rubber tip off before you put it in. Make sure you got a copper washer. Make sure you got screens on your fuel ports, and then put just a little bit of oil on these O-rings here so she slides in. So I've already identified one issue. Maybe that's just a problem that I have. Maybe none of you will have it. I don't carry a torque wrench in the truck when I'm just driving around. So that kind of puts a damper on this whole do it on this side of the road thing. I mean, let me know. Drop it down in the comments. You guys carry around a torque wrench in your truck? Am I the weirdo? All right. Gotta go get a torque wrench. Very critical that you torque these bolts. I'm not even going to tell you what torque spec I'm using because I don't want you to yell at me. Just look it up. Oh, another thing. Get some compressed air. I mean, typically you're going to want to use shop air, but in the spirit of pretending like we are on the side of the road, I use a little bit of this duster. I mean, it's air. Blow your bolt holes out. You do not want oil in the bottom of your bolt holes. You get a false torque. There it goes. Okay, injectors are torqued down. Before you do anything else from right here, plug your injectors in. My goodness. So the last thing you want to do is try to plug it in after you've put it together, and the connector goes down inside the rocker box, and now you got to take the whole thing apart again. Next, oil rail. Now, this part's tricky. See these little nipples here? Don't move them around. Set this thing down right on top of these injectors. Snap your little hose back on. And then just push it down. And that's it, we're in. Now take your little bolts, put them back in. Again, I'm not gonna tell you the torque specifications because I don't want you to yell at me. But just look them up. And also there is a sequence. My goodness, did I just find a mouse nest? Look at that. Well, the oil rail's all torqued down. By the way, FedEx showed up, which means this video just got a lot more interesting. So now's the fun part. Remember earlier when I wasn't paying attention, taking the valve cover bolts off? So I have no idea which ones are bolts and which ones are studs. Yeah, we get to deal with that now. I remember a couple. Maybe that'll be enough. We'll see. Now would be a good time to put a fresh coat of paint on this valve cover if you wanted to. Hey, good news, I put the gasket on backwards. So it means I get to take this back off. Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's in there right. It's time to put the Ficm in. That's what we were waiting for from FedEx. So, lucky you, lucky me, we got a box here from Circuit Board Medics. So what we have here is a new Ficm. And paid a little bit extra. It had the 40 horsepower Atlas tune. So we're going to bolt this guy in, and then we're going to drain the oil and put some fresh oil in before we prime the system and see if Big Red runs. You want to change the oil when you change injectors because high pressure oil is what activates the injectors. Just change your oil, it's not that expensive. Obviously you're not going to be changing your oil if you're doing this on the side of the road, and I'm pretty close to calling BS on being able to do this on the side of the road. This has been quite the process. While this is draining, I'm just going to put the degas bottle and the air box back in, and then we'll come back under here, put the drain plug in, put new oil in, prime the system, and we're ready to crank. I'm pretty stoked. Let's see if we can speed this up just a little bit. Much better. Let's top this thing off with oil and see what happens. So the flavor today is Amsoil. I've always been a Rotella guy, but heard wonderful things about Amsoil, and it's really about the same price. This and Schaefer's, from the research I've done, are the best oils you can run in these trucks. And oil's critical in these trucks because of the way that fuel injection works, so you want to take good care of it. I don't think you need to see an oil change, so I'm just going to do that real quick, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to prime the system. Oh, one other thing. For the love of Pete, use an OEM filter, Motorcraft FL 2016. If you don't, the internet trolls will get you. New oil's in, so it's time to prime the system. Ford made it easy on these trucks. Right back here, you can take this little guy apart. Not with one hand though, hang on. Got it. So unplug this guy, and then take this piece and touch that little terminal to the positive post on your battery. And that'll crank it. Make sure the keys are not in the ignition. If the keys are in the ignition and turned on, the truck will start.
A few moments later.
Now, take a break. Let that starter cool off. You're gonna do that a couple of times. Probably do it 3 times total of 20 seconds or so each, and then we'll crank it. Okay, it's a moment of truth. Oil's changed, new filter's in, injectors are done. I topped the coolant off. I'm nervous because if I screwed this up, it's gonna cost a ton of money. Because no mechanic wants to clean up after somebody else, especially somebody who has no idea what they're doing. Here we go. Come on. Oh boy! Oh yeah, let's go for a ride. Oh, you know, I didn't even think about, that's technically a cold start. The truck hasn't run all day. That's the first time I started it. It's only been running for 2 minutes. Oh, it smells so good! Oh, we just fixed this truck. The injectors were 200 bucks a piece, got them online. That Ficm, I'll have to check. Oh, it's right here. Is it right here? 435 bucks. So 435, I have to ship them my old one back. I get to keep this one, and then I have the 40 horsepower Atlas tune, and I can't wait to get out of the neighborhood. You know, we took that oil rail off, so there's still potentially air bubbles in the oil system. We need to get them out, and the Ford service manual recommends some wide open throttle. I gotta tell you, the truck has never run this good before. Here we go, we're out of the neighborhood. amazing. Get out of my way, Corolla! My goodness. Of course, as far as I know, the original Ficm was always garbage on this truck. And I know I had 2 bad injectors before. Oh my goodness. It's night and day! Night and day! If you've got bad injectors, fix them. This truck runs amazing now. I'm an idiot. I've been putting this off for 2 years because I was afraid. So this was a little bit of a pain. It took me about 3 hours. Now granted, a lot of that was running back and forth trying to figure out why my GoPro wasn't working or why my phone wasn't recording or whatever. And I had to look up torque specs and bolt sequences. Oh, it's so nice! If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down and tell me why. Tell me why. Help me get better. And, you know, leave comments regardless. Tell me what you think. Subscribe and ring that bell, okay? I don't know. This is fun for me. I'm really not good at it yet, but thank you for tagging along while I kind of work out the kinks. Hopefully one day I'll be able to put out some pretty stellar content. So, anywho, I hope this inspired you to work on your own vehicles. I'm an idiot, and I did this in my driveway with really no special tools. Torque wrench and a long T40. That's it. So guys, thank you. And above all else, don't be a jerk.